Hello, we're live on this large microphone.
On this showdown of Gonstead Spine and Wellness versus Align Integrated Medical. We're going to arm wrestle for everybody here. But he's got a gimpy wrist from all the adjusting.
I do. Real quick, I'm going to get this shared. Oh, audio sounds pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to get this shared for Dr. Chad Woolner's community. If you guys don't know who Dr. Chad Woolner is, why don't you introduce yourself real quick and just tell everyone why they know you?
Well, because I'm a nice guy, first and foremost. I think that's the most important part. So Dr. Todd Lee Pickman and I go back many a yonder year. Is that the best way of putting it? But Todd and I have known each other for probably 5-6 years going on now, at least.
It's longer than that. I met you I met you in 2014.
14. Wow.
No, probably 13.
No. Yeah.
It's been 8 years.
Whoa. That's crazy.
It's going on 8 years.
That's crazy. Anyways.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I've been a chiropractor for well over a decade and started back in 2016, Chirofunnel Secrets University, teaching docs, in essence, how to use funnels in their marketing efforts to get qualified patients into their practice. Started the Chirofunnel podcast, which have you beaten me on episodes now with now podcast? We're at 272, 271.
That's close. I'm on 261.
261. There we go.
261.
You heard it here.
I think that's the newest one, January 18, 2021. Yeah, that's got to be it.
So anyways, so yeah, I've been helping docs in terms of marketing. Our latest project, which just kicked off, I think a little less than 2 weeks ago, is I've teamed up with Dr. Andrew Wells and Dr. Jason Green, really phenomenal docs, doing what we call simplified functional medicine, which is kind of a similar system and or program of what Dr. Todd has done for functional movement and what you're doing in Move Now.
Functional medicine, and
the interesting thing is both Dr. Todd and I started our training in functional medicine at the exact same time, and so
with Dr. Kalish.
Yeah, Dr. Kalish. And so what we did was, and I think we both had the same kind of experience in that it was really great training, but I think we both kind of run into the same sort of roadblocks that you run into. Many do with functional medicine. Okay, now that I've got all this knowledge and training,
how do you apply it?
How do we apply this in a meaningful way? And what you oftentimes find, and I'm not plugging my program. In fact, I'm going to plug your program because that's kind of what this is all about, is what Todd has done with Move Now has taken a lot of, I would say just as much, if not more so, in the functional movement space as the functional medicine. The irony of it that I find is most approaches to either functional movement and functional medicine are anything but functional. We would call them, the typical approaches are dysfunctional. Wouldn't you agree? It's very cumbersome. Yeah. It's very hard to take and put into any sort of meaningful, implementable system or way that a doc can take it, and let alone have the doc and his team understand it, or have the doc and team understand it, let alone then transfer that over into terms of something understandable for the patient, into lay terms. And what you've done with your home rehab kits, with your screening tools, your simplified, or your not simplified, but your what do you call it? Your simple screening process that docs can do, a simple function. You've streamlined the function. You move well 3, right? Mm-hmm. You've really pared it down to the essentials. And so we've kind of done that same thing in the functional medicine space. That's our latest project. But all along the way, at the end of the day, where I'm most excited and passionate is helping docs to improve their overall marketing, so that they can ultimately help more patients and do it in a way. One of the things that I try to pride myself on, at least, I always say this, and I don't know if you say the same thing. I'm assuming you're in the same boat as me, in that
we'll find out. I don't know.
What is it? I think we are, because I know you in terms of your level of transparency between what you do and with your patients and all that stuff. But I always have in the back of my mind, in terms of the marketing systems and the tools and the trainings that we do, I always, and I think this is a good gut check that every doc should ask themselves, is if you could pull back the curtain and patients could see behind the doors, what you're saying about your marketing and the strategies and what you're saying about the systems that you're implementing, would you be embarrassed to have your patients hear that stuff? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And I think some docs in some groups and some systems out there, I don't think they could answer that in the affirmative. I think they'd be like, ugh, I don't know. I wouldn't want patients hearing what we're saying about them with this or this strategy or this approach or this might come across a little bit manipulative or a little bit, so it might be embarrassing. And that's one of the things that, again, with the approaches that we use, I would never be embarrassed to have patients listen to any of the episodes of my ChiroFunnel podcast. I would never have patients be embarrassed to see what me and my team discuss behind closed doors in terms of the systems we implement into our practice. I would never be embarrassed for patients to see what we teach other chiropractors with anything and everything. And I think there's something to be said for that. I think the more congruent you can be in that, to where both match up what you say and do with patients in front of them, and then what you say and do behind them. I think if those things are out of congruence, I think that's a recipe for some potential problems. Personally, that's just my take. What's your?
Yeah, no, I think for sure. And to speak on that, I guess, hold on, I want to answer that, but just real quick, if anyone's watching this right now, main thing, Dr. Chad's going to be at our event. We're doing a 5-day event, February 17th through 21st. And Wednesday, we start Wednesday afternoon and we're kicking it off. We're going through some stuff, and Dr. Chad's coming over to go through and present and teach and train and kind of launch the whole 5-day seminar that we're doing. And we have doctors coming out from all over the country. We have presenters coming out from all over the country. There's going to be an awesome group of people that you already know. Dr. Ed LaCara is coming out. Dr. Perry Barnhill. Do you know Perry Barnhill?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Perry Barnhill, Dr. Jeff Kronk from Smart Injury Doctors. You haven't met him yet?
Not in person,
but his name, Kronk, you love his name. And you're talking about from the get-go. Singyup Rose coming out, Dr. Rowe.
Dr. Rowe.
And
all the usual suspects.
Oh, and Dr. Miles Bodson and Holly Jensen from Cash Practice are coming out too.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great group coming out, and Dr. Chad's going to kick this thing off. And a quick thing to answer his question, yes, I think we should always just be congruent in what we do and not be slime bags. And so, like, every time we teach something about our system, even our marketing, our Facebook ads, everything that we do, and I do this because I believe this, is I don't start with, here's how you make lots of money. It's like always starting with, here's how you get better patient results. Here's how you make an impact in your community, how you do a better job, fulfill what you want to do in your practice, have more fun, all this. And it's also profitable because you can do it this way, as it should be, though. If you're putting more time, energy, effort, and delivering more, right?
Yeah,
like it should be profitable,
absolutely.
and that's not a bad thing. It's just an exchange of value.
That's exactly
right.
That's exactly
right. And then a little side thing that I'll say, I should have started with this on our intro, but I was fumbling trying to share this to Dr. Chad's Facebook group, and it took me longer than I thought. This is the guy I've always gone to, and if you ever seen us in interviews, I always tell this story briefly, but this is the guy that I've always gone to to kind of vet out or clear marketing ideas. So, like, if there's a marketing idea or something that I think I'm going to do, I'm like, I want to see what Chad thinks about this. And so there's very few people, quite honestly, there's few people who I really feel like I need to check in with on a marketing idea that I'm going to get some kind of valuable feedback. There's few people that I value their opinion higher than this guy, because he's done the work. He's read multiple marketing books. He's followed this. He happens to be good friends with Russell Brunson, which is a cool bonus. So you've done lots of talking with him over the years.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who Russell Brunson is, he started ClickFunnels. Chad's the first chiropractor to use ClickFunnels back when it was in beta. I remember he was showing it to me going, hey, thought this is going to be pretty cool. You should check it out. And then
little did we know.
I know. And then Matt Ogle was number 2. He beat me to it. I could have been number 2, but I'm number 3. I'm number 3. I'm number 3 as far as I know. And anyway, that's how we built Move Now University. It was inspired from understanding ClickFunnels, from watching what Chad was doing. So really how all of this stuff has grown, I pay tribute back to Chad introducing this whole process, and that's how we got it going. He's going to be here at this event. I always like for him to participate when we do these things because he's local. Like, I just drove over here from my clinic and it takes me 15 minutes to get here. We both practice in the same city. We don't consider each other competitors at all. Like, we could care less. I send patients over to him for work when they have auto accidents with concussion. I don't know if you send patients over to me, but maybe like a scoliosis patient or something. Yeah. And so it's and Chad and I are great friends, and he's going to be at the event, and you should be here. And to your audience too, something to know, and I know this is 2 weeks out and you may not have had this on your radar, but if you want to come out to beautiful Meridian, Idaho, Freedom USA, meaning it's more free than most states. I'll tell you that. You can come out here and get like a dose of like normalcy. Is that a word? Yeah. And you can come out here, even if you're not a member of Move Now University. This is open for non-members. So if you check out the link that I put, impact.movenowu.com, you can check that out. And there's a way that if you're not a member, how you can attend. It's a 5-day event. If you have any interest in putting functional rehab, functional movement into your practice, you're going to learn that and a ton more. And you'll be able to come see your buddy, Chad, and you'll learn you'll meet a bunch of other really cool, influential people that you should know. So I don't know, anything else to say on that?
No, I think Dr. Todd does a great job of surrounding himself with just good, sharp, successful docs and or other influencers that I think, this is going to probably sound really cliche and corny because you've maybe heard it before, but the whole your net worth is found in your network, right? Your network determines or influences your net worth. And so much of these events, I would argue, isn't just about the learning and gleaning, which there's plenty that you will learn and glean firsthand from Todd as well as others, but also just the opportunity to surround yourself with other like-minded docs. There's something to be said for, recently my wife was on this Tony Robbins New World, New You challenge. I don't know if you've seen that. It was a live challenge she went through. It was great. And one of the parts, I haven't gone through all of it. I've got the replays. I need to go through it. But one of the parts in there that he said that was just so inspiring to hear. So sometimes there are truths that when they're reinforced, it's just very empowering. But he said, when all is said and done in terms of success in business and in life, and I would argue the same holds true in practice, as he says, it's 80% belief and mindset, and 20% mechanics and technique. And I would argue 100% that's the same way. Is that I think that's one of the biggest things that makes what you're doing, not just with your program, but also these events, is when you rub shoulders with these others and see others that are doing it successfully, it elevates your level of confidence and belief, which can help be the necessary fuel to propel you forward, to take the necessary action to do those things that will ensure your success. Sure. Headspace, mindset, and belief is so critical. And again, Todd is providing you guys with a really awesome opportunity to immerse yourself in good material, in good training, as well as connecting with really, really awesome, successful docs. And to speak on that, and I'm almost hesitant to even say this because I don't want to discourage someone who's planning to come out in person or who maybe is saying, ooh, I'm going to come out in person. I just haven't got my plane ticket yet. Yeah. There is no replacement to coming out in person and being able to do, like, it's the stuff that happens outside of the training that makes these things so huge. I mean, I can't tell you how many events I've gone to over the years where I meet someone in passing or in the hall and we have a conversation and it leads to some kind of future resource that I would have never met if I didn't do that before. Yeah. And so first and foremost, if you can make it out here, flights are cheap, jump on a plane, get out here. You're probably getting stir crazy wanting to travel anyway. What better place to come to is a place like Idaho. You don't have to take a bunch of tests or stuff to get here. You might have to take tests going home, depending on where you're at, if you live in some kind of communist state, but like California or something. But for those situations, if you absolutely can't travel out here, we're actually going to live stream the whole event too. And so that is a thing that we're going to be offering. So if you're interested in that, reach out, let me know, comment on this. I can get you information on that. I just put the page together today. As far as how to sign up for that, I was actually requested. He would love to be out here. He just can't because he's got to understandable, do a bunch of hoops to jump through just to get back home afterwards. So if you're in that situation and if you want to be able to attend, it goes Wednesday afternoon, February 17th, Thursday all day, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning. And you can jump in and out. You can have your staff jump in and out on live stream. And then if you want to get all the recordings of that too, that's going to be another option. We'll have those all edited up and available a couple weeks after that. So
this is going to be a really fun event. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you're going to come out to it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Do you want me to give a little pre-frame or a little pre-frame on the pre-frame?
Yeah.
So in terms of what I've been, basically what I want to share with you guys at this event is kind of what we've been noticing in our practice. And I try my best to kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in terms of marketing and in terms of what I'm doing in my own practice. One of the nice things that you get from me, as you do with Dr. Todd, is he's not a full-time consultant. He's a full-time practicing chiropractor. And I think there's tremendous merit and or validity in that in and of itself, that you can rest assured and know that Todd is not just talking in theoretical, but actually implementing what he's teaching you guys. And I think that's one of the things that bolsters Doc's confidence. It's one thing for a lot of, there are plenty of theoretical consultants out there. You know what I mean? There is not a lack of those types who are more than willing to tell you all sorts of good ideas that when put into actual practice, you know, it's the old Mike Tyson saying, right? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm basically sharing is this concept of pre-framing with your funnels and your just overall marketing strategies, and how that plays into your overall equation of your marketing and your success with managing patients and closing cases, in essence. And let me get a little bit more concrete so you kind of understand where I'm going with this. You know, at the end of the day, I think sometimes what happens is, whether you do a 2-day report of findings process or a 4-day, whatever style you're at, when it comes down to it, and I think you would agree with me. Again, I keep looking for your agreement in all of this, but when it comes time for the patient to sign on the dotted line and pay money, if there is an objection there, that objection did not occur right then and there. Mm-hmm. It was days prior. You know, you got to hop in your time machine and go back. And the idea is this: the analogy that I would use is, if you're going to plant a garden, there are some steps you have to go about. You don't just all of a sudden walk out into your backyard, dig a hole, and throw plants down and hope, you know, that something's going to grow. You'll get stuff to grow like that, but what you'll also get are a lot of weeds and a lot of challenges and things like that.
And real quick, before you make your point, because this is a really cool synonymous thing within our system, is that doctors go through our stuff and they go, is it really necessary to do this on day 2? Is it really necessary to go through this step on day 3? Is it really necessary to go through like a wellness score? Because we use Cash Practice Wellness Score. That's a really powerful tool, right? Yeah. And then I can look back and I can say, do you want to see our percentage of patients that actually sign up for care, start and stick with it? It's extremely high. Why is it so high? Because all of these steps, just like you're saying, they pre-frame, they prevent the objection before the objection happens, so that by the time it's time for the person to get started and put the money where the mouth is, right? Or where the rubber hits the road, whatever you want to say, they're like, I have no reason not to. You've completely, satisfied every possible concern that I have, and I'm ready to get going. And then it's like easy, smooth sailing. And so in the marketing end, that's what you're talking about right now, is like how to set the stage for that. So please continue.
Yeah, no, exactly. Your marketing is like the soil prep, right? And everything Todd's talking about there's a smooth flow. And so much of the heavy lifting has already been done in that realm. But the same holds true with your marketing. And at the end of the day, the thing I would argue, you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, is real marketing, good marketing, effective marketing is just as much about repelling the wrong people as it is about attracting the right ones, right? Because truth be told, as much as you may have heard this from some circles in chiropractic, not everyone is going to be a good fit for what you're doing, especially with functional movement, right? Because my guess is that it's going to require patience to do stuff. Right there, it's not the traditional kind of classic, and no offense to any chiropractors out there whatsoever, no disrespect at all, but it's not a passive process that so many chiropractic offices offer. Right, just come in, lay down, crack, we'll see you later, doc. Right. You're actually having patients go through a process. You're having patients be tested and demonstrate understanding of principles and knowledge to ascend into your process there. And so that's not going to jive well with everyone off the streets. And so there has to be a certain level of qualification that takes place. And so really at the end of the day, what I want to show you guys and share with you guys in this is ways of simply doing that in your marketing, such that the people that come through the door are already to some degree more pre-qualified, right? Pre-framing is the secret to doing that. And so we're going to show you how to do some marketing pre-framing in some smooth, simple, and elegant ways that'll make a huge difference in terms of your overall ability to get more people through the door, more qualified people through the door, such that when they flow through these systems, it's smooth. You're not arm wrestling a bunch of patients. You're not feeling like a used car salesman, which I think all of us none of us want that type of feeling. And so, so we're going to show you that. We're going to show you some of the strategies we've been using in my practice as of late, and some of the time-tested, tried and true strategies and tactics. And we're just going to give these to you just for attending. So you're not going to want to miss this because it's good stuff. It's
going to be awesome. Cool. So, well, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I was supposed to do a Facebook Live where I was behind my computer at home and he was behind his, and I was running late. And I just said, I'm just going to drive over. We're going to do it, sit side by side, exactly 6 feet apart. Okay, cool. Anyway, all right. We'll see you later.
That's right.
Over and out. Click the link, impact.movenowyou.com. Check it out. Message me if you have any questions. Message Dr. Chad Woolner. Check out his stuff at
Don't miss it.
At Chiro Funnel Secrets. That's what he's all about. And then what's the other one?
SimplifiedFunctionalMedicine.com. We got a free training Thursday.
Whoa. Hey. All right.
It's the real deal.
See ya. Over and out.